Hey, Trevor. Jimbo, there's an echo on your end. I'm talking to Jimbo. Alright, I was just telling. Yeah. Uh, Alright, no worries. Alright. Now it's... Now the echo's gone. It was on his end. Alright. You ready for the Super Adaptoid on Tuesday? Nice. Alright, what we got for factions? We got the Gamma Key with Maestro. And we got Blast from the Past. Taskmaster. Okay. Mm-hmm. When he said that he wants the paint, he wants the when Joe said the that he wants the when Joe said that he wants the, hold on, I'm trying to remember how he worded it. When when Joe said that's good to know, I want the Storm Shadow movie and I want it now. That's what I mean by that. Because you say that all the time. Alright. So John Camper did a video yesterday on why we probably haven't gotten the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home yet. He just thinks it's just too far away. Like it's still like 5 months away, and they don't want to take the thunder from Eternals and Shang-Chi. Here, I'll play the video.
By Suri. And Suri writes, "Hey John, greetings from Malaysia." Well, thank you for writing in from Malaysia, Suri. So, We are less than 6 months away from Spider-Man No Way Home. Yet, we still have not gotten a trailer or even a teaser. Could this be an indication that the movie might be postponed? Or is this an indication that the studio is still not satisfied with how the movie is progressing? Or am I just getting worried for no reason? All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Suri. And I don't think it's an exaggeration, Rob, for me to say that aside from the Dune trailer dropping, the most emails and messages and submissions I've had over the past week or two for topics here have been from people asking, where is the Spider-Man? By the way, you like my Spider-Man hoodie here? My Spider-Man No Way Home hoodie here?
Oh, it's not full here. It's Far From
I won't
Home.
say from where. But anyway.
It's his Far From Home hoodie. It's not No Way Home hoodie.
And by far the most numerous messages I'm getting is, where's the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? Where is the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? And, you know, it's funny because I feel like we discuss this all the time on the show.
I know.
But it needs to be repeated because a lot of people are writing in asking about this. First of all, I would say this. Suri, you said it yourself. The movie is over 5 months away.
Yeah.
It's still over 5 months away. Now, it is true that there are movies that will put out trailers that, you know, earlier than that. That is true. And it is true there was an era not long ago where, you know, sometimes they would drop trailers a year in advance and all that kind of stuff. A year in advance. But the reality is, in the very recent history, we have seen Hollywood more and more adopt a trend of shortening the window that transpires between when a movie's coming out and when they actually drop the trailer. It used to be this big of a window, but we have seen, thank God, we've been seeing a shrinking window. Why? Because the studios have realized that there's no point in putting out, or they haven't completely realized it yet, but you see that the studios are starting to realize that there's just no point in putting out a trailer 8 months in advance. Because any buzz, any pop, any excitement that comes from a trailer that drops 8 months in advance is poof, gonna be gone. It disappears like morning mist in the sunlight. It just evaporates and goes away after a few days or a week or two. And ultimately, they make not a single extra dollar on the box office by dropping a trailer 8 or 9 months in advance, when they could have waited till 4 months out, 5 months out, 3 months out, and then spent their marketing money, drop that trailer, get all that excitement that then can carry over into the box office because they're closer to when the movie actually comes out. The one other thing I also want to point out, though, about Spider-Man No Way Home in particular, is that while this is a Sony movie technically, and Sony will make the decisions about when to release a trailer and how to market it, that's totally Sony's decision because they are the distributor of the film. But it is a movie that is in the MCU. And let's not forget that the MCU still has 2 other major films that are getting released between now and when Spider-Man No Way Home comes out. And if they're going to want attention to be focused on anything, they're going to want the attention to be focused on these 2 films. Rob, we got Shang-Chi coming out in September, dude. And it feels so weird to say that. It's coming in September. It's actually really close now. We're in July, August. We're like 2 months away, less than 2 months away from Shang-Chi coming out. I'm super stoked about that. But so they're going to want to be focusing their marketing attention. They want to focus their buzzing attention on Shang-Chi. And then even after Shang-Chi, we got the Eternals. The Eternals is coming out in November, which, Rob, I know you're super excited about.
I am.
And then on December 26th, over 5 months away from now, let me emphasize emphasize that point again. By the way, our friend Rob Loft sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you for that, Rob. Appreciate that, man. Over 5 months, more than 5 months away from now, then comes Spider-Man No Way Home. So look, I think it might be December 17th. I'm not sure about that. Ray might have made a mistake on that date there. But at any rate,
It is December 17th.
Right? And we've got 2 other MCU films. Granted, Sony is the distributor, but still it's part of the MCU. We got 2 other MCU films coming out before that a lot of attention is wanting to put on. There is simply, not only would I say that there's no reason to panic about there not being a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, I would also propose, why should there be a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer now? It wouldn't make any sense. And Rob, that's not to say that we may not get a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer later today, or this week, or maybe they wait until Shang-Chi comes out, or whatever. But not only, I guess my point is, Rob, not only should we not worry about the fact that there's not a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer yet, I would go further than that and say there's no reason for there to be one right now. But anyway, Rob, that's my take on it. Dude, it's understandable. This is a film that a lot of people are looking forward to, Rob. They're very excited about it. And so obviously everybody's very anxious to get their first look and taste of it. But, you're hearing a lot of people asking, where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? How do you address this?
Well, first of all, I think you made a lot of great points. I mean, I think we need to remember that the first Spider-Man Homecoming made almost $900 million worldwide. Far From Home made over $1.1 billion worldwide. Spider-Man going to be just fine. No one, they don't need to promote this. And I'll tell you something else.
Mm.
If what we know about Spider-Man No Way Home is even half true, why spoil the surprise now?
Exactly.
When you have 2 unknown quantities in Shang-Chi and in Eternals. These are new characters, new movies not a lot of people know about. And I think they don't want people to be like, well, great. I mean, Shang-Chi and Eternals, what I really want to see is Spider-Man. Come on. I mean, if Spider-Man has the elements in it that we've heard rumored, we know Doc Ock is in it, we know Electro's in it. Who else is in it? Who knows? But, I mean, it's certainly pretty exciting. And I think if they showed a trailer, and by the way, like you said, they could drop one tomorrow. But I think part of the reason that we don't have one is because they don't want to steal the thunder away from unknown Marvel quantities. We don't want people to be like, well, Shang-Chi is just not nearly as exciting as Spider-Man No Way Home. So I think that's all probably part of it, because they don't really need to promote Spider-Man this far out. They could start promoting Spider-Man 3 weeks before it opens.
Yep. And
saturate the internet with trailers, and people would go bananas. That movie is $1 billion franchise. It's not like people are going to be like, I don't know, I'm not going to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. Everyone's going to go see it. Everyone loves Spider-Man. Kids of all ages, John. So I think I think you're absolutely right on all counts. They don't need to promote it. They have other movies coming out. They've got other Marvel things to be excited about. Yes, it's a Sony film, but Sony knows. I mean, you start with this kind of novelty. If the stuff that's going on in this movie is really going on, they want to keep it fresh. And the closer they start promoting this movie with these kind of, they'll sort of whip everybody up into a frenzy, a lather, get us all excited. So they don't have to promote it this far out.
And again, remember, this thing could drop any second. It could drop today.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I wouldn't be surprised. So, I mean, we're because now, Rob, we're in what I would call an acceptable range.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to start putting out trailers like 5 months out, I find that to be an acceptable range. It's just that once you get more than that, it starts to feel like you're just wasting your marketing dollars. So any time now, guys, it could be a few more weeks. It could be another month and a half. It could be any minute now. But don't worry, a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer is coming. And I am looking forward to it. The question is, guys, what do you think about this? Have you been worried that we haven't seen a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? Or are you a little bit more like me, where it's like, relax, the movie's still like almost half a year away? How are you guys feeling about it? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
All right.
My name's Tom.
So yeah, see, what other topics did John Camp talk about?
I don't play Marvel Avengers as often as I used to since I got Apex Legends.
Okay. Original screen base, original Space Jam director brutally slams the new movie. I gotta hear what he has to say about this.
And our fourth main topic today gets submitted to us by Alan Garcia, who writes, "Hey John, wow. Did you see the director of the first Space Jam movie, Joe Pytka? I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest. Joe Pytka? I'm going to say Pytka. Has come out and just slammed the new one. He used words like insignificant, boring, all while insulting the way Bugs looked, LeBron, and just about everything else. I didn't like the new movie, but isn't it a massive lack of class as a director to come out and start slamming the new movie?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Alan. And yeah, look, first of all, let it be said right here. I watched Space Jam 2, I know they called it New Legacy, whatever, Space Jam 2. I watched it. It had its moments. It really did. The Notorious P.I.G. part made me laugh out loud. And I got a kick out of looking in the basketball audience and picking out all these really quite wonderful Warner Brothers, like little Easter eggs that were all over the place. I got a kick out of that. I did. But overall, the movie's terrible. The movie is terrible. I really thought it was badly done. But then again, I wasn't exactly a big fan of the first Space Jam either. I didn't think that was done quite as well. Anyway, in the midst of all that, the director of the original Space Jam has come out and started slamming the hell out of this movie. This comes to us from Vanity Fair, who writes, Pytka has several issues with the long-awaited follow-up, including its soundtrack and supporting cast. The filmmaker apparently told the outlet that he watched Space Jam: A New Legacy over 5 separate occasions as it was too dull to complete at once. Pytka also referred to the soundtrack as insignificant, a sentiment he shared about the sequel's roster of NBA players, including Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard. In short, the director said the truth is that LeBron ain't Michael. And guess what? He went on. He went on to keep slamming the film. Now, I am somebody that also disliked the film. I did not think the movie was all that great. I'm a big LeBron James fan. An actor LeBron James should not be. Even though he's probably my second favorite basketball player of all time. But I'm telling you right now, this dude should not be an actor. That being said, I agree with his assessment for the most part that the movie wasn't very good. That being said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. It is the height of absolute classlessness for the director of the first one to come out like a sorry little jackass and slam on the work of somebody else working in the same property. You know, a YouTube film critic, Chris Stuckman, who, you know, you've seen on my shows over the years, and he was on my panels at Comic-Con and things like that. I know Chris. Chris Stuckman recently came out and made the announcement that although granted is with some production company I've never heard of, but he's going to be directing a new movie, like an actual feature film, not one that he's financing himself like I did, not one that's kind of like an own personal project like mine. He's actually legitimately directing a film for a studio. And while I and a lot of other people were disappointed to hear that Chris said he wasn't really going to be reviewing movies anymore, because he is, you know, he's one of the best movie reviewers out there. And from a pure movie review point of view, he's one of the best pure movie reviewers out there on YouTube. So I was disappointed to hear that he wasn't going to do that anymore, but I completely respected why he said he wasn't going to do that anymore. And the main reason he offered up was, listen, if I'm going to be a filmmaker, I don't want to be out here trashing other filmmakers. I don't want to be out here
That's
trashing
true.
the work of other filmmakers. It's fine when I'm a YouTube film critic. That's my job if I don't like the movies. But I don't want to be that guy that talks crap about the projects of other filmmakers or other filmmakers if I now myself am a filmmaker. That's
Exactly.
not my place anymore. It's the place of critics and fans and things like that. If you dislike things, you got to say you like it, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm going to be one of those guys, I can't also be the guy that slams the work of other filmmakers and particularly, though, in this situation, of somebody who's working in the same franchise that you are. So here, it's interesting, guys, because at the heart of it, I agree with what he's saying. It's not a good movie. But it's not his place to say it. And to me, it comes across as an extreme lack of class, an extreme lack of dignity, an extreme lack of honor to come out and bash on the work of another filmmaker and another group of people working within the same realm. And if somebody, look, I have no problem if somebody asked him straight up, say, hey, did you like the movie? Say, you know what, it wasn't for me. I take no issue with that. But to use words like insignificant, boring, dull, oh, LeBron's no Michael, everything about mine is better. You know what, dude? That should be for other people to say, not for you. So while I don't like this movie at all, I'm the fucking nobody YouTube critic. It's my place to say if the movie's my job to say, not yours. So yeah, I gotta say, I was really disappointed to read these comments, and I think it's the absolute height of classlessness. If classlessness is even a word, I might have just made that up. I don't know. Anyway, Aaron, you are in a different position than myself, obviously. Like you work in the industry. You are one of these, people that you are a working actress. You've been in some high profile things, but a director comes out, and a director's a little bit different. Like a director comes out and starts bashing other work. I don't know. How do you see it?
Oh, stupid ads.
Will cost you about $10,000 and possibly so much.
Well, that is a very fine line for, an artist in any medium to talk shit about an artist in a relatively similar medium. And if you will pay attention, not you, but if people in general will pay attention, I am very careful about who I bash. I intentionally do not bash other actors. I think there's maybe even one actor who I have bashed about their work, but that's also because they're just a terrible person in general, and I don't care. But in general, I don't say bad things about actors because I don't want to be that person. And I also will talk about projects specifically, and I'll talk about specific issues that I had with projects, but not the people involved in them. Now, that being said, this Joe Pitka guy can go fuck himself. This is not only so disgusting for him to do this, it also reeks of not so subtle racism as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that. And if you want to compare who's doing better in their careers, let's talk about Malcolm Lee, who is the director of this project, who I had the pleasure of working with 10 plus years ago on Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. My part was so small and ultimately ended up on the cutting room floor. But can I tell you, that man treated me with nothing but dignity, respect, and he treated me like I was Martin Lawrence. He treated me like I was the star of the show. And for that, I will be forever grateful for him as a human and as a director. And then you see the things that he went on to do. He went on and he did Girls Trip. He's done Best Man's Wedding. He's done sequels to Barbershop. He has done so many incredible films that really have captured a story about people whose stories are not being told. And now he gets a chance to reboot something that can open up a whole new world for a younger generation. Is this movie going to win awards? No, of course not. But guess what, John, whatever your last name is? It doesn't matter. And if you want to compare careers, let's talk about the fact that Malcolm Lee has 9 projects in either production or in development. People want to work with him. You haven't done a studio movie since Space Jam. Okay,
oh, ouch.
The Britney Spears Pepsi commercials. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you got your money, but that says something about who you are as a person. No one wants to work with you for more than 3 fucking days. So the fact that he's going to come out and try to gain some sort of relevance now, because, yeah, of course he has to milk this conversation. No one wants to hear what he has to say about anything else. So he can't just get by and say, no, I didn't like it. Why? Because it's his only time that someone's going to ask his opinion about anything, because no one fucking cares. You know what? If he actually, I had a teacher once who said, when you work more, you will become more humble. This man doesn't have any humility because he doesn't work. And that's the problem. So you want to have your opinion about a movie, have your opinion about a movie. But do not talk about Malcolm Lee. That's one man you're not going to talk about to Aaron Cummings. You know, he should have just said, it wasn't my cup of tea, and moved his unemployed ass on. But he didn't. So guess what, John, whatever your last name is, fuck you.
Joe.
John Cam,
Joe.
Fuck you.
His name's Joe. Joe.
You got that mama bear energy, right?
Anyway.
I read that and I was on fire. I was like, no, you're not going to do that.
By the way, can I just mention Girls Trip is one of my favorite comedies of the last 10 years. I freaking...
Great.
I love Girls. Riley sends in a super chat, patch live chat. Thank you, man. All right, Kim, Kim, this is fresh for you because you just watched
The little
Space
guy woke me up this morning.
Yeah, you
first,
just watched
Aaron,
Space Jam this morning. What did you think?
I wish I could hip bump you right now and be like, damn, girl, you got that mama bear energy. Like, try me one time, okay? I'm a mother now. You don't even know what I'll do to you. Like, I'm loving it. Yeah, the nephew woke me up and was like, I want to watch Space Jam. I'm like, can I wake up first? So yeah, saw it this morning. Look, I don't like to trash people. I'm just getting started in this industry, so I'm not trying to get on anyone's bad list. But it was a movie, and because it was a movie, it is, and it is a movie, and that's what it is. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. It wasn't that good, but let me say this. Okay, the only thing I might not agree with, because the guy is douchey, the soundtrack. I'm sorry, 1996 Space Jam. You had Seal, Coolio, Kelly. You had Jay-Z, Biz Marquee. That soundtrack was the soundtrack.
You finished WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Loki.
Summer of 1996.
I'm excited for.
That soundtrack playing handball.
Wait, hold on. You're excited for what? You're excited.
So they were like, you have to get.
Oh, you're excited for more. You're excited for more. Okay. Yeah. All three shows have been amazing. I love all three.
Property, and we were like bumping on our radio with our little cassette. That's memories right there. This soundtrack, I don't even remember what I heard this morning, and I watched it like 5 hours ago. So I think it's pretty tasteless, because in the end of the day, in this industry, we're all artists. And like you said, John, you can say, you know what? It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. But basically, he's basically saying to this new director, it was trash. Who are you to say it was trash? Movies take so much to get off the ground. They take so much to get made. It's so much effort and blood, sweat, and tears and time away from your family. Like, who are you to trash everybody that worked on this film? And honestly, I mean, you know, I have nephews, so I'm coming in with the kind of family perspective. If you've got little kids, it's great. It's fine. They got the colors. They're playing basketball. They got the characters. They're looking in the background going, hey, why is, I know this morning Jaden was like, why is that guy in here? And I'm like, oh, it's Warner Bros. For little kids, it has fun. And when you're a parent, that's what you want. You want them jumping around. You want them having fun. Get that energy out. But who are you to just call someone's art trash? That's not cool. It would have been more tasteful to just say, you know what? Wasn't for me. Hopefully this new generation will take to it. You know, there's still some shade there with that comment, but I thought his comment was really, artists shouldn't trash other artists.
Yeah,
they shouldn't trash them, because who are you to say that? Who are you to say I mean, I get that, okay, you have a legacy. This movie, the 1996 version, although it may not be an Oscar award-winning movie, that generation, my generation, will never forget that. We'll never forget Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. Like, that means something to me. Like, the original Space Jam means it means a ton to me. And the people I grew up with, it means a ton to us. That soundtrack, that movie, there's parts that I'm still like remembering and reminiscing about. And so it's tough when someone makes a new one and everyone's like, it's not that good, and now you're attached to it for life. I get that frustration, but don't trash people.
I often get, it's the same principle as this. Every day, I'm not exaggerating, every single day, some of the questions that get sent in to me are, John, this and this YouTuber says this. What do you think about what that YouTuber said? Like, every single day. And every day I have to reply, I don't talk about other YouTubers. That's not what we do here. Lots of them try to start drama. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube channels that they just exist to talk about other YouTube channels, and whatever other people want to do, that's fine. But we don't talk about other YouTubers here. Unless, there's something really interesting and fun and cool that I want to highlight, promote, or something like that. But we don't talk about other YouTubers. I just don't think filmmakers should be talking about other filmmakers. Not if you are in that system, not if you're part of that fraternity. If you're asked straight up, you don't have to lie. But again, like you echoed, Kim, all the dude had to say is, yeah, I saw it. It's not really for me. Not really for me. That's all you got to say, and then walk away. Like, trash the restaurant you went to last night. Trash the car you bought and hate. Trash the sneakers you just bought. That's all fine. I just don't think people in an industry should be out there trashing other people in the same industry. It's the same bullshit that we saw from Steven Dorff the other week. And it's just...
Don't get me started with that shit.
This coming from a guy that I completely agree with his assessment of Space Jam 2. I completely agree with his assessment. Again, leave it to the fucking nobody YouTubers to talk about Space Jam 2 being bad. You stay above that because you're a filmmaker, or at least you were. At any rate,
John,
yes?
You just gave me an idea for a show that I was...
That's always bad. Whenever I give Aaron an idea, it's always trouble. What is it?
So, when you mentioned that there are YouTubers that just like to argue,
I gotta watch that rant again now. The Steven Dorff rant. Oh, okay. You stay in the party though? Okay, just making sure. Like I said before, WandaVision wasn't going to be good as the other two. I say all three are, and it didn't change anything. Both Falcon and Winter Soldier are better than WandaVision, and Loki was better than WandaVision. Yep, exactly. I gotta go back to find that rant again. I love that rant. Come on, where is it?
Could you play at an earlier time next stream so I can join, cause it's too late for me?
I can try Dark Side, but no promises. Let's see. Where is that Steven Dorff? Rant.
Okay.
Oh, just him ranting about the facts that the Rob Pattinson and the reports about Matt Pattinson and Matt Reeves aren't true.
Third main topic today.
I gotta watch this
is
rant
submitted
again.
to us by Alan Wright. And Alan Wright writes, say that 3 times fast. Alan Wright writes, "Hey John, I just wanted to know if you saw the story several sites are reporting on, including Cinema Blend, which is a site I know you reference often. It is a site I reference often. I think Cinema Blend is a fantastic, one of the better websites out there as far as the movie and entertainment industry goes. Anyway, I know it's a site you reference often, that Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves hate each other, and Pattinson refuses to ever work with him again, which is putting any potential sequel to the Batman in trouble. What do you make of these reports?" All right, thanks so much for sending that in, man. Yeah, Batman, or I should say The Batman, is a movie that, I mean, first of all, this movie was born in controversy, if you will, maybe more than that. It was born in drama. Let's at least say that. The Batman project that we have coming out was born in drama because, of course, it was surrounded the situation with Ben Affleck leaving Batman. Because don't forget, for a long time, Ben Affleck was supposed to write, direct, and star in a solo Batman movie. Something I desperately wanted to see. And I know a lot of you guys desperately wanted to see that too. And of course, then, I was the first one to come out and tell you guys Ben Affleck was out. He wasn't going to be Batman anymore. And it wasn't for like another year and a half until Warner Brothers finally made it public and let people in on what had been true for a couple of years, that Ben Affleck was out. And then, of course, you know, they first announced that he was out as director and that they were bringing in Matt Reeves. And, you know, I wanted a Ben Affleck directed movie, but hey, if it can't be Ben Affleck, Matt Reeves is a terrific choice. He's a great director. But then, of course, they finally came clean that Ben Affleck himself wasn't going to be in it. Now we're going to have Robert Pattinson. That started its own bunch of controversy because a lot of people who don't really know much about movies are like, wait a minute, they're getting the Twilight boy to play Batman? Of course, people don't actually understand, you know, movies are more than just comic book movies, and Robert Pattinson has been spending almost a decade starring and doing amazing in these smaller indie films and getting the attention of all the directors in Hollywood, including Christopher Nolan, who made him one of his leads in his most recent film, of course. And
Yep.
But everybody who knows Robert Pattinson's work was like, you know what? This dude is an A-list actor, and he could do very, very well. So the whole project has just been simmering in drama right from the beginning. And it hasn't helped that, you know, over the past month or two, there's been all these unfounded rumors and stories. Oh, this problem with Batman and that problem with Batman and all that kind of stuff too. Like, oh, Robert Pattinson walked out of set. No, blah, blah. Now, there's been a story floating around a little bit recently that Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson absolutely hate each other. They absolutely hate each other. And that Robert Pattinson will refuse to work ever again with Matt Reeves. That's the whispers that have been going around some of the shadier corners of the internet, right? And of course, nobody gives that kind of BS any sort of credibility. However, when a site like Cinema Blend starts running these headlines, because Cinema Blend is not Gus's gas station reviews.fart, right? This isn't some obscure little, I mean, Cinema Blend isn't exactly Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, you know, Deadline. It's not on that level, but I'd say Cinema Blend is on that, just that next step down, where sites like Coming Soon and Joe Blow and Cinema Blend, like really good, reputable, I believe really good websites and stuff like that. So the problem is, Cinema Blend runs a headline saying the Batman rumor puts Robert Pattinson's sequel in jeopardy. Let's hope it's not true. So now what happens is, when there were just these little quiet whispers going around the dark corners of the internet, yeah, some people picked up on it, but most people knew well enough to ignore it. But when a site like Cinema Blend runs it, well, then people are going to take it, understandably, they're going to take it a whole lot more seriously. Because Cinema Blend is, again, they're not the Hollywood Reporter, they're not Variety, they're not Deadline, but, they're a major player. And I reference Cinema Blend all the time. I love this website. I've respected Cinema Blend for a long time, all the way back to my movie blog days. I've always really liked this site, and I still do. They're great. So does that mean, since Cinema Blend is running headlines now on this drama going on behind the scenes, that Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson hate each other, does that mean it's legit? Well, one of the things I always tell you guys is, it doesn't matter what website you're reading it on. Follow the source. Look to see where that website is getting their information from. And when we do that, it seems to paint a little bit of a better picture for us. This comes to us from Cinema Blend, who wrote the following. Anticipation for the Batman has been steadily building, with limited footage arriving last summer that revealed Matt Reeves' ultra-realistic vision for the blockbuster. Fans are eager to see him face a trio of villains, and there are also plenty of theories about who might pop up in a potential sequel. Unfortunately, a rumor surrounding the Batman is that Robert Pattinson and director Matt Reeves are feuding, with the Twilight actor not wanting to work with Matt Reeves again in the future, which is, of course, a problem if Matt Reeves is directing another Batman movie. This wild report comes to us from We Got This Covered.com.
I got Overwatch, it's pretty good so far.
And should be taken with a giant grain of salt. Let me read that last sentence again. Us from We Got This Covered.com. And should be taken with a giant grain of salt.
I especially like the Lucy
All right.
Ball mode.
This story does not come from Cinema Blend, even though Cinema Blend ran a headline. All Cinema Blend did was they took a story from We Got This Covered, and they decided to run it as a headline of their own. Now look, I often talk about how I am not here to talk about other YouTube channels. I'm not here to talk about how other outlets do their things, but because Cinema Blend is a site I reference all the time, and I hold in extremely high esteem, I will say this. Cinema Blend, what the F are you doing? Listen, Cinema Blend knows well enough that if it's coming from WeGotThisCovered.com, it's bullshit and should 100% be ignored, which is what almost everybody else did. Everybody ignored it, because it was coming from WeGotThisCovered.com. So everybody knows well enough to ignore it. And Cinema Blend knows well enough to ignore it. Why they chose to run a headline on that is beyond me. And saying, well, it should be taken with a grain of salt. No. If you're running a story that has anything to do with WeGotThisCovered.com, you should be saying straight up to your audience, do not believe this. There may be a 0.5% or maybe even a 1% chance that this rumor about Robert Pattinson on the Batman and Matt Reeves feuding, there's a 0.5% to not wanting to work a potential sequel. Unfortunately, a rumor surrounding the Batman is that Robert Pattinson and director Matt Reeves are feuding, with the Twilight actor not wanting to work with Matt Reeves again in the future, which is, of course, a problem if Matt Reeves is directing another Batman movie. This wild report comes to us from WeGotThisCovered.com, and should be taken with a giant grain of salt. Let me read that last sentence again. This wild report comes to us from WeGotThisCovered.com, and should be taken with a giant grain of salt. All right. This story does not come from Cinema Blend, even though Cinema Blend ran a headline. All Cinema Blend did was they took a story from We Got This Covered, and they decided to run it as a headline of their own. Now look, I often talk about how I am not here to talk about other YouTube channels. I'm not here to talk about how other outlets do their things, but because Cinema Blend is a site I reference all the time, and I hold in extremely high esteem, I will say this. Cinema Blend, what the F are you doing? You know, listen, Cinema Blend knows well enough that if it's coming from WeGotThisCovered.com, it's bullshit and should 100% be ignored, which is what almost everybody else did. Everybody ignored it because it was coming from WeGotThisCovered.com. So everybody knows well enough to ignore it. And Cinema Blend knows well enough to ignore it. Why they chose to run a headline on that is beyond me. And saying, well, you know, it should be taken with a grain of salt. No. If you're running a story that has anything to do with WeGotThisCovered.com, you should be saying straight up to your audience, do not believe this. There may be 0.5% or maybe even a 1% chance that this rumor about Robert Pattinson on the Batman and Matt Reeves feuding, there's a 0.5% to a 1% chance, just like there is almost in anything in life, that maybe it could be true. But basically, if it's coming from WeGotThisCovered.com, you should ignore it. Now, the ramifications of this go further because not only by a respectable site like Cinema Blend, which is great, running this headline, I got tons of messages last night from people like well-intending people like the one who sent in the main email here for our topic today. Because now, well, wait a minute, this isn't We Got This Covered. This is on Cinema Blend. There's got to be something to it, right? I got dozens of messages via social media, in the comment section, being sent in directly as a topic. And here's the other thing. Because Cinema Blend ran it, a couple of other sites ran it as well that weren't going to run it because it was on We Got This Covered. But since Cinema Blend ran it, well, you can just say we heard this from Cinema Blend. And you see how this terrible, chaotic game of broken telephone starts to go. Look, am I sitting here telling you that it is impossible that Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves don't get along? Of course that's not impossible. They're human beings. Sometimes human beings don't get along. However, it's coming from WeGotThisCovered.com, which I believe, let me just double check my, 1 second, carry the 4. Yes, they're carrying a 0% accuracy rate. Still 0. Or at least damn close to 0. So, no, it shouldn't be listened to at all. Also, Robert Pattinson has never, other than that time that I got so pissed off at him because he was talking about, I didn't even bother working out for Batman, and that just pissed me off. Now, apparently he's come out afterwards and said he was joking about that, but oh my God, that pissed me off. Anyway, so Robert Pattinson has never had a reputation of being difficult. He's never had a reputation of not getting along, or at least being able to act cordially and professionally with all the different people he has worked with on the wide variety of films he's worked with. He's just never come across, other than that whole thing about I won't work out for Batman, he's never really come across to anybody that I've spoken to as any kind of a prima donna. Nor has Matt Reeves. I've heard Matt Reeves can be a hard director, but to me, that's a good thing. There's a difference between being hard and being completely unreasonable. I like leaders who are hard and without crossing the line into becoming completely unreasonable. I like that. And I think when you have two professionals like that work out, so number one, it's a story that doesn't make sense. But more importantly, you got to remember it came from WeGotThisCovered.com. So pay no attention to it. And I will say this, only because they're one of my favorites. And I'll only say something this critical to somebody who's one of my favorites. And Cinema Blend is one of my favorites. But Cinema Blend, come on, man. Come on, man, like they would say on ESPN. Come on, man. You knew what you were doing. You knew it was completely unreliable. And putting in a little line like, it should be taken with a grain of salt. No. It shouldn't have been run with in the first place. And if you were going to run with it, you should only run with it to clarify to your readers they should not believe this rumor if they read it. But your readers never would have heard of it if you didn't carry it, because you're Cinema Blend, and by you carrying it, it's now respectable. It's now got some credibility because Cinema Blend ran it. So come on, guys. You know what you're doing. Do better, because you're one of the best. So please do better. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Maybe you're one of these people that you believe that there's big drama going on the set of Batman. Because don't forget, there was also like the same people that recently were saying, oh, the Warner Brothers executives hate the new Batman movie, and that was all BS too. People just seem to be obsessed with causing drama with this movie that was, to be fair, kind of born in drama in the first place. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Jump on down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
I get further and further in. By the time I hit the 90 days,
All right, now I gotta find a Steven Dorff rant. Come on, Steven Dorff, where is it? Oh, here we go.
Main topic today, and buckle up, guys. Our fourth main topic today gets submitted to us by Steve Calderon, who writes, Stephen Dorff. Oh, I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Dorff. Stephen Dorff called Black Widow a bad video game and expresses embarrassment for Scarlett Johansson and other people involved in the movie. It's fine if Dorff doesn't want to be in those types of movies. That's his choice. However, do you think it's wrong for him to trash the movie publicly, which sounds like he didn't even see it, and also Johansson or anyone's choice to star in this movie? All right, thanks a lot for sending this in, man. Now listen, for those of you who may not know, I love this quote that Ray gave me here. I like getting the best villain award. I thought that was funny. For those of you who don't know, Stephen Dorff is, of course, most of you will probably remember him as playing Deacon Frost in the first Blade movie, which, by the way, I really liked him in that role. I really liked him in that. And I had a chance to meet and hang out with Stephen Dorff just for a little bit once at the Immortals premiere. Of course, he had a small role in Immortals. And I got a chance to meet and chat with him at the premiere for that. And very cool guy. I mean, for as short of a time I had talking to him, seemed like a pretty cool guy. So he was just asked, I don't know how it came about. He was being interviewed by The Independent. And the topic came up about Black Widow. And he decided to say some things. Now, before we get into his quote here, let me put this out there. You guys know I have no problem with actors or directors who say, we really don't like comic book movies. I have no problem with that. Whether it's, what's the actress's name who was the little girl in Taxi Driver? Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Whether, Jodie Foster made some comments before, it's like, I don't really like those movies, they're not for me, blah, blah. I personally have no problem with an actor saying that. I don't even really have big problems with Marty Scorsese saying, I don't really consider comic book movies cinema. They're great spectacle and blah. That's fine. If you like those types of movies, that's fine. If they're not for you, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Where I start to have a problem with things is where actors who work in this industry with other actors who are in this industry and filmmakers who are in this industry. I take issue whenever an actor decides it's his or her place to come out and cast a whole lot of shade at other, actors or directors for the art itself. And specifically, when actors like Stephen fucking moron Dorff decides that he's going to cast shade not only the filmmakers, but indirectly, blatantly insult anybody who is a fan of that material. This is what Stephen fucking idiot Dorff said that came out of his fucking idiot mouth. that he should have fucking kept shut. This is what he said. I still hunt out the good shit because I don't want to be in Black Widow.
Okay.
Like any fucking buddy was offering him a role in Black Widow. Like anybody, like Kevin Feige, oh, Steven Dorff, I can't do this movie without you. How can this industry survive without you, you fucking piece of shit? And he says, no, Kevin Feige, I'm holding out for the good shit. The good shit, Steven Dorff? Like your little... Didn't you do a movie with fucking Uwe Boll? Oh, but you're holding out for the good shit, you lying piece of shit. Anyway, then he goes on to say, so let's read that first part again. I still hunt out the good shit because I don't want to be in Black Widow. The True Detective actor told the newspaper, it looks like garbage to me. It looks like a bad video game. I'm embarrassed for those people. I am embarrassed for Scarlett Johansson. Oh, Scarlett Johansson, 2-time Academy Award nominee? Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's fucking crying in her bed right now because you fucking nobody had that shit to say. Anyway, it looks like a bad video game. I'm embarrassed for those people. I'm embarrassed for Scarlett. I'm sure she got paid $5-7 million bucks, but I'm embarrassed for her. You know, not like him being in an Uwe Boll movie. No, heaven forbid. His impeccable, untouchable reputation. I'm embarrassed for her. I don't want to be in those movies like anybody is fucking offering him those movies. I really don't. I'll find that kid director that's going to be the next Stanley Kubrick, and I'll act for him instead. Oh, really? Really? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that stupid fucking idiot goes, yeah, no. I don't know, who's one of the hottest actresses in the world? I don't know, let's say Scarlett Johansson says, no, man, I wouldn't date Scarlett Johansson, no way. Yeah, as if she's calling you, offering to date you. Okay, look, again, I have no problem. If Steven Dorff came out and somebody said, hey, what do you think about the looks of this Black Widow? And if he were to say, listen, I personally really don't like the comic book movies. They're not for me. And I only really want to be in things that, you know, kind of interest me. And since comic book movies don't interest me, it's not for me. I would have zero problem with that, Rob. I know there were probably some people that would have a problem with that because they're very defensive about their comic book movies. But I honestly would have no problem. If you were to say, listen, I don't like comic book movies, man. They're not my cup of tea. So I probably wouldn't, you know, be interested in appearing in those. No problem. But when you start opening your idiot mouth of your C-list nobody ass and start saying, oh, this looks like garbage. He hasn't even seen it. This looks like garbage. And just the fact that this guy, Rob, who's in an Uwe Boll movie, has the audacity to say, I'm holding out for the good shit. The fact that he has the audacity to say, I'm holding out for the good shit. By the way, you were in fucking Blade. Oh, I don't want to do those kinds of things. You were in Blade, and it's the only thing you've ever done that anybody gives a shit about in your stupid fucking career. It's the only thing anybody cares about was one of those movies. And so he blatantly, directly insults the filmmakers who make it for a movie he hasn't even seen. What do you think? How's the director of Black Widow feeling about this? Sitting back, seeing this actor in the industry, who I fucking hope never works a fucking day again in this business. The director sitting at home and seeing this fucking moron get out and say, you're in that lady's movie? That's a fucking embarrassment. Scarlett Johansson should be embarrassed. And indirectly, by saying that, he is saying to you and me, he's embarrassed for us that we would like these movies. Now, you don't have to love all of them. Not everybody's going to love Black Widow. Not everybody's going to love Endgame. Not everybody's going to love The Flash. That's fine. No problem with that. But he is basically saying that you're a fucking joke if you like those movies, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember this movie, this moment, I should say, that Steven Dorff, who can't get his ass cast in anything relevant, who is holding
Did
out
you
for
hear
good shit.
Omega Boba Fett is coming out this Tuesday? Yes, I did hear that.
To land a role in something that's not a nicotine replacement commercial, which, by the way, is the biggest thing he's done in his career in the last 15 years. I want you to remember the next time he pops up in something that he has said to you, he's embarrassed about you, that you would like those movies, that you would have anything to do with it. He's embarrassed. You're a joke to Steven Dorff. And I want you to remember, again, I take zero issue. And by the way, RM sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, RM. I take zero issue, none whatsoever, of any actor, including irrelevant fucking Dorf, who decides to come out and say, look, these movies aren't for me, they don't work. That's honest. There's nothing wrong with that. I get that. But to just flat out come out with your nobody fucking irrelevant ass and start casting shade at these filmmakers, these actors, and these fans. And if I'm sounding like I'm taking this a little bit personally, I am. Because I'm sorry, Dorf, that I'm below you because I enjoy these types of movies. Oh, God forbid. Boo-hoo. I guess I'm going to have to go to bed tonight knowing that I'm not on the good list of Steven irrelevant fucking nobody Dorf.
Oh, come on. Stupid ads.
Today tastes like months in the making. And it never tasted this good.
And I just don't understand what thought process is going through this idiot's mind when he's thinking, this is a smart thing for me to say right now. You fucking moron. Anyway, Rob, you've had a chance to hear Stephen Dorff's comments. What do you make of them?
Man, do I love a campier rant. Man. I think it's in poor taste, to be honest. And I'm like, first of all, like you said, the guy has done, he was in Blade. He's done some really great indie film work. I particularly liked him when he played Phil Joanno's Avatar in a movie called Entropy, where he basically played the director. He's done some great work, but I feel that...
What do I think of... Hold on. What do I think of... Crash test skins? The Crash test skins? Oh, the Crash skins? Oh, God. I like them. Other than the Iron Man one. I hate the Iron Man one. But the other ones don't look that bad. I really hate the Iron Man one though. I hate the Iron Man crash test skin. I don't know why. I just don't like that helmet on him. Like, that's just... What the fuck? Wait, seriously, look at that. Look at that. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I hated that one. Like, ugh. Yeah. I just find it so funny. Just the audacity that... I was just about to say, just the audacity that a guy who...
I really like the Thor one.
You really like the Thor one? Yeah, the Thor one's good. Just the audacity that somebody who's in a Uber Bowl movie has the audacity to say, "Oh, I'm holding out for the good shit." I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, that part, that just really pisses me off. Like, just the fact that somebody still has the audacity to say that they're still holding out for the good shit, and they're in an Uber Bowl movie. Like, mm-mm. Oh, and I love the Hot Toys ran as well. Hold on, Hot Toys. John can't be Hot Toys, that's all I'm gonna look up. I love his Hot Toys rant. His rant about Hot Toys. Hold on.
Ryan Lohner who writes, my mother just found out about Hot Toys. Her reaction. So what do they do? Seriously, for that kind of money, what do they do? I get it. And I had this conversation with somebody before. When you look at Hot Toys, like $250, $350, depending on the one you're getting, right? What do they do? Okay. Hey, curiosity question there, Aunt Pina. How much did Uncle Doug pay for that engagement ring on your finger there? What the fuck does that do? What the fuck does that... What do they say in the commercials? 2 months' salary. For fucking what? For a rock that sits on your finger? What does that do? I'll tell you what it doesn't do. It doesn't fill your heart with inspiration as you look over on the shelf and you see Jor-El, played by the great Russell Crowe, father of Superman, hovering there in all of his 1/6 glory. It doesn't do that. Or look at this Thanos. Look at this Thanos. Tell me, what does your stupid engagement ring do that this guy doesn't do? I mean, look at this. Let's go full screen on that. Let's go full screen on
Look
that.
at the detail on that armor. The battle, the chinks.
Look at
in the
the
armor.
chin. Look at the face.
The hits. Look at that. Look at this. Yeah, the facial sculpt. Bring it down here so you can see it. Yeah. Oh wait, get it up there. Can't really see it.
Look at how gorgeous that is. Don't tell me you don't look at that and not feel inspired and
About
feel
to snap.
creative and feel everything. Like I talked to my mom. Okay, yeah, that what? The fine china that sits in that cupboard. What the hell does that do? Oh, I put my gravy on it when I'm having my mashed potatoes. But people paid like $3,000 for the good china that sits in their things. What does it do? It fills your heart with joy. It puts a smile on your face. It fills your mind with inspiration. It feels good. That's why I don't have nearly as many Hot Toys as Rob does. That's why I've got my Pops and my Hot Toys, because when I look at them,
Tears of joy.
they make me feel happy. They make me feel inspired when I see this thing, this Hot Toy, or this Pop I've got over here of the Flash. When I look at that, it makes me feel creative. It makes me feel inspired to be creative. What does it do? It does a hell of a lot more than a lot of the other bullshit things other people spend their money on. That's what it does. Anyway, sorry. Went off on that a little bit. Rob, you got anything to add to that?
No, John. I mean, who would have thought that you would be the one to deliver such an impassioned defense of Hot Toys? I loved it. I'm here for that, John. Wow, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, a little sidetrack there. What does it do? What does it do? Anyway, okay. All right, let's move on, shall we?
Oh, man. Alright guys, well I'm gonna hop off stream. I'm probably gonna figure out something else to play, but maybe I'll stream some more Avengers when Joe gets home, but I'm gonna end this stream here, but maybe I'll be back on when maybe I'll stream some more Avengers when Joe gets home. Alright.